Welcome to the No Psych, No Excuses podcast, where we have real, raw, authentic conversation. Here's your host, Kijuan Amey. Beautiful, beautiful people out there. Welcome to the No Psych, No Excuses podcast. This is the first official recording, the first official episode. Let's be glad we are here, guys, because you asked for it, so I brought it. Yes, I am a man of my word. So we're going to start it like that, guys, because this is real, raw, authentic conversation. I don't play and I don't plan on doing it either. So we're going to get into this thing. No psych, no excuses. I hope y'all are here to hear just the whole purpose of this podcast, to show y'all that just because I lost my sight doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and create a bunch of excuses, because that's not what I do. I accept the challenge and I keep running. So it's like passing the baton on a relay race. Yes, I was an athlete, so I'll probably do a lot of athletic references along the way. So stay with me, guys. Bear with me here. So the first thing we're going to get into, we're going to talk about, how pain might have come from me losing my sight. But what the biggest thing about that is saying is, hey, guys, yes, I lost my sight. Yes, it was painful. Yes, I dealt with some dark, dark days, not just depression, but to the point of suicide, is what I was thinking. Thank God I did not, attempt any suicidal, thoughts and ideations that came across. But the biggest thing that did happen was, me coming out of that thing, man. And I tell you, it was painful because I didn't see me anymore. And what I mean by that is I started to understand that I felt like a whole nother person. People call me Kiwi. That's my nickname, childhood nickname, the call sign I had in the military. And I was telling myself, this is not Kiwi. I didn't feel like me. Guys, when you don't feel like yourself, that's a point for you to pivot. That's a point for you need to change. You need to find something, some way, somehow to get out of where you are. That situation is not for you. Yes, the red flags are there. Don't ignore them. Don't try to paint them a different color. It's still red underneath, okay? Do not try to lower it down. It's still going to be there regardless. My thing is, when you know better, go ahead and try to fix this thing and do better. I don't care what it takes. I know for me, when I wrote my book, Don't Focus on Why Me, From Motorcycle Accident to Miracle, I talked about that stuff. And I also talked about how I got out of it. I talked to other family members. I talked to friends. I even went and sought help professionally. Mental therapy was the go for me. Now, for me, it might be mental. For you, it could be mental therapy. It could be psychiatry. It could be anything. But what you have to do is seek help. Don't just sit there and be like, "Oh, I'll get over it." Or I go to church, so I know this all too well. I'll just go to church and get it prayed for and it'll go away. That's cool. I'm okay with you thinking and believing in your faith. I trust me because I trust in mine as well. But what I do know is sometimes we need a little bit more. Sometimes we need what we call the help that God put here. He put these people here for us. So why not utilize them? And that is where I start with that pain and the discomfort of, losing my eyesight and, that whole spiel. So that was just, a little piece a nugget that I wanted to throw out there for you guys. All right, guys, moving right along to our next segment, mindset on vision. Guys, listen. Mindset on vision. Y'all know how my favorite quote, I may have lost my sight, but I did not lose my vision. Okay. That's huge because sight to me is physical. That's the physical attribute of what you can see. The vision is something that is mindful. You're powering this vision with your mind. What am I getting to? The goals that I have set, the things that I have laid out, And one of the things that I think about is the Bible scripture that talks about, writing the things upon the tablets, and how you should write things and make them plain, that way that you have guidance for what you're going to do next in your life, in your marriage, in whatever it is, your career. I like to have things laid out because at some point you're going to need to know what you're doing next. Think about it this way. If we're cooking a meal and we don't have all of our ingredients, all of our steps, guess what we're not going to get to? The end result of being able to eat that dish. And man, I'm telling you, if my mom, my grandmother, somebody that I love makes a dish that I love and they did not go through all the steps, I will be the first to know. Because it won't taste the same, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about, especially those Thanksgiving meals, man, like a baked macaroni and cheese, a succulent sweet potato pie. Man, listen, okay, I'm going too far. Y'all finna make me hungry on this podcast, okay? So my thing that I'm getting at is we have to take steps for the mindfulness and the vision, and I know for me, purposefully, I do my best to sit here and try to plan things out. I've always been a planner, even in my younger days. I've always been a planner. I'm only 33. I'm not saying like I'm like old or nothing like that, but it's been something that's been instilled in me for a while, is what I'm getting at. And when you plan out, it makes it a whole lot easier, first and foremost. I know I have friends who have anxiety, and thinking too far ahead actually makes it worse for them. So you don't have to plan out until 5, 10 years in the future. You could plan out your next 5 days, plan out the next week, plan out the next day if you want to start that short. You know what I mean? It does not have to be this big goal like everybody's doing. You do it your way. Make it so that it works for you because you're the one who matters in this situation. And so when it comes to that, that's what I'll leave you guys with on that segment. And we'll move into the next one here. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we are back to our next segment. We are here to talk about faith it until you make it. Yes, I said that clearly. I know y'all are familiar with fake it until you make it. I don't do that. No, that's beyond me. I faith it. FAITH it until I make it. Okay. Why do I say this? This is something that all of my believers should understand. We need faith in order to make it. Okay. We got to believe. We got to believe that we can get through this. We got to believe that we can move forward, especially when we go to our source, which is God. And my biggest thing, especially with the accident, with my life, my daily battles, even till today, I needed every bit of faith. I needed every bit of it. My accident was so severe that, guys, I didn't even know I was still here for a whole month. I was in a medically induced coma. And the faith that not only my friends, but my family, my pastor, my church, everybody that came to that hospital and prayed together, not individually, by the way. This was praying together, interceding together on my behalf, and lifting up a prayer to get me to where I am today. We have to faith it until we make it. And even when we do make it, keep going. But I'm going to tell you about right now, just faithing it until we make it. And so with that being said, I'll give y'all an example. So I went to the gym one day, and listen, I go to the gym, try to do it 3 times a week. And I hate to say the word try, but that's because I do a lot of traveling. You know what I mean? So sometimes that doesn't always fit into my schedule. But remember, get it in somehow. Anyway, I was at the gym one day, and you know me, I'm just in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. You hear me? So I'm in my own zone, getting it in. And I trust me, if you don't believe me, go check out some of my videos that I post about being in the gym. But I was there lifting, and a gentleman walks over to me and he says, You are true. He was like, what he says, how is my hero doing? I'm like, I know he ain't talking to me. And he was like, yeah, I'm talking to you. I was like, oh, me? He's like, yeah, you. I said, I'm doing pretty good. I wouldn't call myself a hero. He said, in my eyes, you are. Now, in that moment, I could have kept denying that I'm not his hero. But the fact that he sees me, the fact that he continues to see me consistently coming in that gym was something that helped him. When I don't feel like going to the gym, I'm letting somebody down. And it's not how I view it all the time, but I don't even realize it until somebody speaks of it. He says, I see you consistently working out and you come in here and you give it everything. He says, you are just somebody, a person to behold. And I was like, hey, I'm just doing what I can to get my body back in shape. You know what I mean? And so the man that I'm speaking of, can I please tell y'all this? I have to. Lean in, come in a little closer. The man was 91 years old and still working out. What's the name of this show? No psych, no excuses. He has no excuses. Why do you? 91 years old. And he says he's just trying to be a young man again. I said, come on, man. I can't. You are doing too much. You're going to make me feel bad. And so that was just one of those moments where I felt like, gosh, if he can, so can I. I don't care what's wrong with my body. I don't care how many different parts I now have. But once I heard his perspective on life, it was different. So that's one thing we have to keep in touch with our perspectives and just understanding that just because you're not understanding somebody's watching you, somebody is. So y'all know the song. I know it feels like somebody's watching me. So yeah, we're gonna get into this next one. Let's talk. And guys, listen, this is probably one of my favorite. I mean, I know I got a lot of favorite, but this segment here, the 3 E's. Oh, y'all gonna love this. Excuse, execution, and elevation, guys. Listen, excuse, execute, elevation. I'm gonna tell y'all what I mean by this. Just like that man that I told you about, the 91-year-old man, okay? He has all the excuse in the world not to be in that gym. All of it. 91 years, brother, you've lived a great life. I don't care what nobody says. They can't say nothing to you. But the excuse went out the window as soon as he stepped in the door. Hear me again. The excuse went out the window as soon as he stepped in the door. I said, hold up. If he can do it, what the heck am I doing? So when I understood from perspective, that's usually what creates excuses, your perspective on things. With the perspective that he had, I can do this to keep me going. As soon as you stop moving, that's what stops you from living. Okay? When he told me he was 91, oh yeah, I lost all my excuses. I got to go to the gym today. I'm gonna find something to get me there, whether it's an energy drink, whether it's some kind of supplement, energy supplement. I got to go. Whether it's a group, you can find a group to go with. I know people do Zumba. That's a nice class, things like that. Listen, these are just examples of that workout. There are different things you could do that also can help you get over those excuses. Okay. Now, when we get into the execution phase, this is how you move to that phase. I'm going to tell you how. So, getting into the execution, yes, it sounds easy. I know it's not because I've had to force myself. I've had to find ways to get over that hump. I know what y'all are thinking already because I was there. Trust me, when you go from literally being bedridden to now being able to squat almost 300 pounds, deadlift 300 pounds, I'm doing things that I never thought I would be able to do again because of the countless surgeries, the metal parts that I have in my body, just the sure makeup of my how I am now. I didn't think I would be able to do it anymore because I thought that it would be too much for my body. It would be too stressful. See, I'm now what you call making excuses versus trying to find ways around it. When you find ways around the excuses, that's when you start to find the execution. How do I get past this? Instead of thinking about the problem, let's think about the solution. That's how you get to execution. Once you get past that, you'll start to elevate. Let's take off. Let's take off, guys. Come on. I know y'all want to take off because when you see the smile on my face, I get excited about stuff like this. Man, listen, when you elevate, it's a whole nother level. We on something different, baby. Let's talk about it. We are on something different. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when we elevate, it goes back to what I was starting up. When I had those excuses about the gym, why I couldn't do it, when then I finally executed though, you got to start from somewhere. That's fine. Start somewhere. Then you'll be just like me. I'm hitting new PRs. I'm hitting PRs with stuff that I did not, which are personal records that I did not know I could do because I had already put the doubts in my head when I was in that excuse phase. But now I'm in the elevation phase. I'm starting to see growth. I'm starting to see growth. Guys, the 3 E's, hold on to them. Use those things in everything you do. As soon as you find yourself making an excuse, I don't care what it's for. It could be about cooking. It could be about, getting to places on time. It could be about, like I said, getting to the gym. Whatever it is, use these 3 E's and find a way. You could even journal it out and find ways to get to that elevation phase. Let's go, guys. I'm with you. All right, guys, I am back. So let's talk real quick. I'm going to give you a tool of the day. For today, I'm going to give you a quote from Curran Ray. That's Rae. Okay, so his quote, and I love it. It says, make your vision so clear that fear becomes irrelevant. I got to say it again. Make your vision so clear that fear becomes irrelevant. Man, listen, I once y'all know how I feel about vision. Once I understood what he was saying, I was like, yeah, what am I afraid of now? Because I already know what my vision is. I already know what path I'm on. I already know the steps that I'm taking. What am I afraid of? The fear is irrelevant now. Guys, that is a huge quote. I hope you can take it. I hope you hold on to that one. Write it down, put it on your affirmation board, and it will more than likely assist you like it's assisting me. Yeah. All right, guys, we're coming up to the end of the show. I know you guys have been tentatively listening, and I love it. I love it. I'm glad you guys tuned in to the first episode. I can't believe we're already to the end, but I got to leave you with my final segment. The final of the day, and I'm sure you guys will love this, is called the No Excuse Zone. I have to say it like that because you have to be serious when you are in the no excuse zone, guys. That means you're locked in, you're loaded, you're focused, you're just balanced, you're ready to go in the no excuse zone. And when you're there, we can't allow any distractions. We can't allow any naysayers. We can't allow any doubters to penetrate that zone. Because when we get there, oh yeah, it's no holds bar. It's time to go. This is where we lock in. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're at a deadline for a project at your work. I don't care if you're at the gym trying to get a new PR on a bench press. I don't care if you're running a marathon. You're in the no excuse zone. You know how it is. Those last couple of miles in the marathon, you're just ready to give up and you're ready to throw in the towel. But remember, you got to get to the finish line. And there are no excuses unless you make it there. You could pick yourself off the ground later, but until you get there, you've got to make it to the finish line. Now, with this no excuse zone, guys, I get it. We've been talking about no side, no excuses. We've been talking about the man 91 years old. But the biggest thing I need you guys to understand is that you can be that person. You could be that 91-year-old man or woman. You could be another person that I haven't even mentioned who started bodybuilding at the age of 59. And it's not a man, it's actually a woman. And she still does until today. She's like 72 years old. When I tell you, don't think that age is just a number. It really truly is a number. It's not a limitation. That's what people think age is. People think age is a limitation. In the no excuse zone, it's just a number. Okay, throw it out the window. I don't care what they say. Okay, we are just getting started sometimes when people think they're done. Oh boy, I actually need to say that one in. Us in the no excuse zone, we're just getting started when some others are already done. Come on, man. So that is the no excuse zone. This has been an amazing first episode of the No Excuses podcast. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed it the same way I did because, hey, y'all are here with me. And I needed you to get this show started. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to sign out by saying, just because you can't see it doesn't mean you can't achieve it. All right, guys. Until next time.